Hi friends, welcome to the Understandables. Today, we are going to understand a very basic mechanism related to computer science. Every time you open your computer or your laptop, what you do? You right click and you click on the refresh button. But why? Why do you need to refresh your computer? That's gonna be our topic for today. So before understanding the actual refresh mechanism, let's see what are the misconceptions. Few people think that clicking on refresh will boost your RAM power, but it's definitely wrong. To understand the refresh mechanism, we need to first understand the mechanism of drawing output to the monitor. We know that monitor is an output device, and the processor inside the CPU, whatever needs to be outputted, it just use it to send it to the monitor in the olden days. But now the latest technologies, and as the technologies progressed, the GPUs came into the picture. Just the outputting responsibility, the drawing of output to the monitor, just that responsibility is taken by the GPU. And what happens is, all the tasks will be done by the CPU, and whenever something needs to be outputted, it informs the GPU through an interface which is a GPU driver, and that GPU draws the output to the monitor screen. Every output you see on the monitor screen, the screen you see, is called a view, and you see several components on the view. For example, if you consider a default Windows desktop, you see a wallpaper, you see some icons, you see a taskbar, and you see time and other things. Every component you see is known as a UI component. For example, an icon is a UI component, a taskbar is a UI component. And what happens is, for every small period of time, this screen is to be updated. For example, after 10 seconds, if I want to redraw the whole screen, every UI component that is placed on my view has to be redrawn. For example, if there are 10 icons on my view, I have to redraw the desktop, I have to redraw the basic background, and I have to redraw all the 10 icons. This increases a lot of burden on the GPU, and this is where some optimization techniques came into the picture. One optimization technique is, whenever an object is changed, that object declares itself as dirty. So whenever the output has to be redrawn, only the dirty objects will be redrawn. In the sense, for example, in the before case, if you see, there used to be 10 icons, and if we change only 2 icons, and if we want to redraw the output, we have to redraw all the 10 icons. But now in this case, if you see, there are 10 icons, and if you change only 2 icons, these 2 icons are known as dirty components, and only these dirty components will be redrawn. And this is the optimization technique. But why do we need refresh? And that's where the question is. Now see, whenever an object has to be dirty, whenever it is dirty, it informs to the processor sometimes, due to heavy load, it might not get it. And whenever it redraws, these changes might not reflect on the CPU, and this causes several anomalies and discrepancies on your monitor. And this is where we need refresh. What refresh actually does? When you click refresh, every component, for example, 10 icons, every icon you see on the monitor will be marked as a dirty object. And when you click refresh, all these dirty objects will be redrawn. In the sense, every UI component on this view will be redrawn, thereby giving us a clear, organized view no matter what the processing is. For example, if at all, due to heavy load, some calls are missed and some changes are not updated, whenever you click refresh, these changes will be immediately updated and will be reflected. Coming back to the misconception, refresh doesn't boost your RAM. It just organizes the components on your desktop. If you take CLI, command line interface, refresh option is not at all same. Refresh option is exclusively designed for GUI OSs. In fact, This refresh button increases the burden on your CPU, but this burden is very negligible, and that's why you are using it very often and still you are not experiencing heavy load on your CPU. Yeah, that's all for today. I hope this video added a chunk to your knowledge. Kindly subscribe our channel and we'll be keep posting new videos